What's up, troopers? My name is Neon and welcome to Battlefield 6. I can't believe we're finally saying it. We had the full reveal today. I'm going to be sharing everything about all the cool details and honestly just giving my honest review about it, because this entire thing was absolutely crazy. They showed off gameplay for like 4.5 hours. This was exactly what we was all looking for. If you're excited for Battlefield 6 just like myself, then leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're brand new, because oh boy, there's going to be a lot of Battlefield on its way. There is honestly just so much to start, and I don't even know where to really start, honestly, because it's just that much to talk about. But let's go start it off with the game modes. The launch of the game mode will have Breakthrough, Conquest, Rush, Domination, Escalation, what's a new mode, King of the Hill, Squad Deathmatch, and Team Deathmatch. We have 9 maps in total, but for the beta, we're only going to be getting 3. Well, it's actually pretty good, actually. We haven't had 3 maps for a beta in years. I don't think even Battlefield 1 did it. I think it was 2, so this is probably the first time in a long time. We also got that tease for the Battle Royale, what we should be seeing a lot more soon, but I'm honestly assuming that Battle Royale is going to be launching next year, as that's going to bring in a whole new audience, and it's pretty obvious that it's going to be free to play. With the Battlefield maps, what we did see of the gameplay, honestly, they were all very close quartered, but also can offer you the large scale warfare. It honestly felt pretty overwhelming really when it came to looking at Conquest gameplay, because there was times where I was watching it and I was like, is this actually Team Deathmatch or Breakthrough? Because it felt chaotic on every single sector. I was looking at it, seeing how everything played, and you can just see how the maps are designed that you're not going to be dinked from 200 meters away from an assault rifle or having a sniper camping miles away either. There's a fair balance between these gunfights. Of course, this is first impression, so a lot of stuff can change. We also had Portal, what completely blew me away. Portal is going to get to a stage where you can have full customization of making your own Battlefield maps. I was like, what? I can't believe that's actually going to be a thing. Although we can have it as a extreme customization where you can have these funny modes or unique modes, but you can also create and design your own Battlefield map. As this game is launching with 9 maps, is it really 9 maps? Because people can start designing their own Portal maps. The variety can be absolutely crazy. When I saw the Portal customization, I was absolutely blown away. I'm very happy about that. Now let's go and deep dive into some of the core gameplay. The movement honestly looks pretty good. I am pretty happy where it does have the same movement where you can jump around, you can slide, but it doesn't look like it's extremely high where it can have that Call of Duty movement, as I know a lot of people were saying that they didn't really want this game to be like COD. But it's pretty obvious that you're going to have games where they're going to have sliding, just like Battlefield 6. The movement looks a little bit clunky though when I see how it moves around. It's a little bit twitchy here and there. They definitely need to smoothen that out. Everything what we were seeing was in beta, so a lot of that stuff can change and be smoothened out. Is Sweet Spot back? That is a pretty good question, as loads of people were sniping, and with that sniping gameplay, there was times where I was like, hey, did that person even hit him with a headshot? So maybe there might be Sweet Spot, I can't confirm that, but there was some times where I did see people one-shot on upper torso and it wasn't even a headshot. But sniping looks extremely satisfying, that's for sure. It performs just like any other typical sniping when it comes to Battlefield, as you have that bullet drop. It was pretty funny actually watching all the Call of Duty players struggle to snipe. As we have already talked about the maps, I am pretty a big fan of how they are playing so far. All 3 maps what they did show off I was very happy with, but really when it comes to maps and seeing how it did play, that is something what I do really want to wait until I get my hands on the game to truly understand how these maps actually play, because everything what we did say, everyone was really new to the game. They were still learning the maps, everyone wanted to explore, so you really got to wait until the beta to give it a go yourself to truly understand how these maps are going to perform. The TTK, is it a bit too fast for you guys? I don't know about that. There were times where I can see where people having these gunplays and these gunfights, and honestly the times where it would take is a lot more longer on its TDK, but then there was times where it was really fast. This could be where most people were just weak through the battlefield, where it was easier to kill them as you're taking less bullets to kill them, or it could be a really fast TDK. It's very aggressive with most of the maps and how they play, so you can imagine how fast the TDK really does go. The double assault primary. Right now, people are saying that this has changed, and honestly, I'm kind of glad this will be changing, because the one thing I think we all noticed in anything is that using a double primary weapon of assault rifle and then a shotgun was pretty brutal. I did realize that shotguns were extremely used in this playtest, and it's pretty obvious that they're going to be changing it. They even did mention anyway and saying like, look, the Battlefield peeps already figured out what to do. Pretty obvious that the beta will have a nerf when it comes to the shotguns, because they were extremely deadly. Mouse input. Well, as you can see, a lot of people played this game and it was using keyboard and mouse, and everyone said that the mouse input worked really well. That's also something else what we had to wait for the proper gameplay of the beta to really see if that mouse input actually is working. I did notice when it came to the UI of requesting ammo or actually giving people ammo, you'll get this UI on your screen and it'll be right in the middle. Hopefully they can change that, but I also didn't see in the settings if there was a full customization of UI, as most people are just busy playing. Hopefully that can be the case where we can customize the UI so we can sort that out, because honestly, I don't really need to have the indication of someone getting ammo, or even if they did, maybe they can just make it smaller or just cleaner, because having this massive UI of the text saying this person's received ammo and the UI is basically in the middle of your screen, that just doesn't need to happen. Aim assist, it honestly looks pretty decent. It didn't seem like it was overpowered, but it also didn't seem like it was underpowered. Sometimes the way to actually see how overpowered aim assist really is if someone locks onto that target and as soon as they kill them and then their sight is like all over the place, then you can kind of tell how strong it is. But it seemed like a lot of people who were on controller were pretty comfortable the way they were playing, and it didn't seem like you were just snapping onto targets. There would be times where I was watching some controller players and enemies walk past them and it didn't even look like they were auto aiming. I would give my full honest opinion once I do get my hands on this game about the aim assist. I do feel like when it comes to vehicle versus vehicle combat, that's probably going to be something what's going to be tweaked and maybe worked on down the line, because through the gameplay I did see quite a bit of like combat through vehicle to vehicle, but I also didn't see enough of it. I feel like through the entire event for like 4.5 hours, I only saw like a little bit of gameplay of jets like twice. And that was like times when they was actually having dogfights with another jet. Maybe they might increase more vehicles, or they're just going to work around the vehicles themselves. There's a bunch of movement what's going on in this game. You got crouch running. When you jump from a high building, you got your barrel roll. You also have auto lean. And I was a really big fan of the destruction. It definitely seems like they have stepped up the destruction. The cool thing about the destruction, when you're shooting an enemy through a door, you can actually deal damage to them, as there's going to be bullet penetration through this game. You're also going to have a massive variety of the way how you can actually play between buildings, as you can destroy a wall to go to the next house, or you can destroy the floor below you and get the enemies who are down there. That's changing the entire feel of this game, because you won't need to have that stage anymore where you're waiting at the stairs for the enemies to come at you. They can destroy the floor above and then climb from that hole. Definitely a step up when it comes to destruction, and that was the thing. You can tell that they have really made a big deal about destruction, as it is a core part of Battlefield. The gun reticle sight kind of doesn't really tie to the actual sight itself. It seems like when you're shooting the weapon and then the sight itself, it might be a little bit off. This was an issue through Battlefield 2042, and hopefully they can tweak with that. I did notice a lot of people picked that up. The jets are pretty overpowered. They are like a full bullet to kill on infantry. That's kind of wild, because of the rate of fire what the jets have. It does seem like you do get punished when you're trying to jump around while ADSing, as it seems like the more movement you do with this game, the kind of more punished you'll get when it comes to your gunfights. The best thing to do is kind of get yourself stationed or in a good position where you're not doing too much, where you can focus on the enemies. We also have XP boost. What is a really cool thing about time, I love having stuff like this where you can actually use that XP boost to basically boost yourself up. You can use a boost of 60 minutes, there's other boost of 30 minutes, and I'm assuming this can be by ranking up your class, your weapon, and just so much more. If you really want to know my full opinion, what you think about this game, honestly, I was absolutely blown away. This right here was truly a Battlefield what we have all been asking for. Of course, it doesn't mean it's perfect for everyone, and maybe this might be something what needs to grow on you. But for me, I was absolutely over the moon. I was very happy what I was seeing. But a lot of people say to me and go, Neon, do you think Battlefield is back? I'm gonna wait before I even say anything like that until I get my hands on this game. So that's all the juicy stuff when it comes to Battlefield. Honestly, there is so much more I can keep talking about, but there was some of the main things of what I wanted to cover. During this beta playtest, the early access, I will be giving away some beta codes. And on the 14th to the 17th, I will be doing a streamathon. So a massive stream when it comes to Battlefield. I'm super excited for the future, especially what Battlefield has shown us today. And considering I made a career doing Battlefield, I cannot wait. Thank you very much for listening to me talk, troopers. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the Battlefield.